I think all of us at one point in time have tried singing, thinking that we're actually good. Maybe you tried singing in the shower.
None of the fellas want to speak. Hey, hey.
Or perhaps we were broken-hearted and drunk at the time. Or we went to Sábado Gigante thinking that we actually had a chance. Whatever the case may be, one thing is for sure. Singing is hard, and even harder is trying to write your own music, and that's exactly what we'll be talking about in today's summary. Welcome to Dumb Down, a show where we summarize movies in hopes of understanding them better. Today we dumb down Ishtar.
Telling the truth is a bad idea.
A movie that is considered by many to be the worst comedy of all time. An exaggeration if you ask me. Personally, it may not be great, but it sure is funny, and it's probably misunderstood. So let's get to the story of the film. Meet Lyle and Chuck, a pair of numbnuts who are convinced that they have what it takes to make it big in the music industry. Not only do they sing, but they write their own music. Talk about originality. If you're wondering how great the writing process is, just take a look at this scene.
Because if yourself, you don't know why. Huh? Well, I'm just giving you what the idea is. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why.
Their delusion makes them insist. They feel that they can be the next Simon and Garfunkel, and no one's gonna stop them. Now, if only I believe in myself as much as these two do, I probably will get high in life. Now, before they started writing their own music, they had normal lives of their own. Sort of. Chuck used to have a girlfriend of his own, and he would play music at restaurants, where people weren't even paying attention to him. But he was sort of normal, and Lyle had a girlfriend of his own too. Things went to crap when these two meet for the first time, at the same restaurant where Chuck is playing a piano and singing. It was love at first sight. Lyle compliments Chuck's music, and these two become best buddies of the century, causing both girlfriends to eventually split from the two.
If you never see me again, it'll only be one time less a week than you see me now.
Oh, Carol.
Your life is a joke.
This is what cements the pair to become a duet, venturing to become pioneers in the world of music. But how does one become such an artist? You have to hire an agent. Or in this case, the best thing you can find when you have no money. A guy who is offering these two a chance to make some sort of money if they go and sing in the Middle East. After a brief sit-down at a bar, they don't hesitate much in agreeing to go to Ishtar and sing. Now, I'm also getting a little ahead of myself. There's a side story involving a manuscript of some kind that was found that will prophesize that two messengers of God will bring freedom to the people of Ishtar. Many are looking for this manuscript, and some will kill for it. Now that we have that out of the way, we can go back to the main idiots, which if you haven't guessed by now, are going to be confused as the two men who will bring peace to the Middle East. At the airport, Chuck meets Shira, a relative of a man named Omar, who was the man that was killed for the manuscript. She is trying to get to Marrakesh by getting Chuck's passport. All she does is flash at him, give a poor story about adventures, and he falls for it.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Chuck decides to go with an alternate plan. To go to the American embassy and get a new passport. Thing is that the country's in the brink of war, and there's no way to get another passport. Chuck, being desperate, tells Lyle to go to Marrakesh on his own and sing, but they were hired as a duet. So Lyle goes on his own, leaving Chuck to coincidentally later meet a man from the CIA who wants to dupe him into becoming an agent by offering him a passport and $150 a week, to which he accepts, no questions asked.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But he does get something out of it. He gets to arrive just in time to save Lyle from singing alone.
Before the night was through, something in your eye.
After the music, Lyle goes back to his room and sleeps by himself and finds that Shira is trying to take one of the briefcases. After a brief misunderstanding, thinking that she's a he,
You're the guy who stole Chuck's passport.
I found it.
and a poor attempt at a funny scene, Lyle discovers from Shira that Chuck is actually working for the CIA. How does she get this information? It's never explained. So we get a bunch of scenes where Lyle and Chuck are distrusting each other, all because of poor choices Chuck made earlier in the film. Mind you, the CIA thinks these two idiots are the ones who are holding the fate of the Middle East.
I can't believe these men may control the fate of the Middle East.
Whether it's true or not, which they aren't, it's enough to get people to believe in them and help overthrow an established regime. Pretty crazy, no? Also pretty stupid, but who cares? Because the ridiculousness is worth it just to see these two poor idiots trying to sing. Even in the desert, when they are lost and they have no water, they're trying to sing. Meanwhile, while these two are lost in the desert, and it's not even worth mentioning how they actually got in the desert, but it is worth mentioning the following scene, which has not aged well, where Chuck attempts to get water from a group of men that are trying to sell some weapons, and for some reason, the arms dealers who are foreigners, mistake Dustin Hoffman for being a native, and they want him to translate. I don't see how Dustin Hoffman looks like someone from the Middle East, but okay. This cringe scene goes on for quite a bit. So, no such luck getting water. These two spend more and more time in the desert, and eventually even more thirsty. And they waste no time to use this tragedy to make another terrible song.
So let me drink some water.
But during the singing, they find out that the manuscript was stitched to the back of the jacket that belonged originally to Shira. At the beginning of the film, Shira gave the jacket that she was wearing in exchange for the passport. All along, Chuck had it, and he didn't even know it. Eventually, the CIA gets fed up with these two idiots and says, fuck it, we gotta get rid of them. But we have to make it look like an accident so they don't become martyrs. But with the help of leftover weapons that they were luckily carrying from the arms dealers, they defend themselves. Oh, and Shira shows up at the exact location in the desert. How did she know they were there? Who knows?
Stop asking so many fucking questions.
Eventually, the CIA gives up because there's no way they can make this look like an accident. Meantime, in the States, the agent who got Lyle and Chuck the deal in Marrakesh to sing gets a hold of the manuscript via mail, along as a request from Shira to have a social reform in Ishtar, also granting Lyle and Chuck an album promoted worldwide by the CIA in order to strike a deal. The CIA agrees. Rogers and Clark become a forced hit.
Oh, Ishtar, you're more than a country. You're a state of mind.
And I know what you're thinking. How is this a misunderstood movie? Well, if you can look past the convoluted plot and accept the songs that are supposed to be bad on purpose, you'll find that this movie has a heart. And like Dustin Hoffman said at the AFI Awards,
Ishtar shall rise again.
I'm convinced that this movie will have a proper recognition sometime in the future. But until then, this was Ishtar Dumbed Down. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time.
See ya. Bye.
Get the fuck out of here now.
In the meantime, I'm gonna take a dump.